Hey, I'm Nick, and I'll be freestyling this video a bit more than I often do, because today I want to reiterate on the aspect of being treatwise, but not in the way that you would normally think of. See, when you think of treating yourself, you may think of buying yourself a treat, maybe eating something unhealthy, indulging in those little guilty pleasures. Of course, not to mention that you've done that after you've done something good. And I just want to shed a light on when you're doing this, you're not actually making those improvements any easier. In fact, you're actually hampering down your progress quite a bit. So that's pretty general, but to dig into what I mean by that, let's say you're dieting, you're eating healthy, you're doing all those things. Maybe you're trying to lose weight and you're losing it. And then to treat yourself, you buy yourself something unhealthy that may gain you weight. So what have you done just then? You haven't helped yourself. What you've done is, even though you took a few steps forward, just taken them back. And that's the problem that I want to focus about, on how society is viewing what it is to give yourself a treat. And I want to put a spin on that. So like I mentioned with that example, a lot of the time when you're thinking of treating yourself, you're bringing yourself back a few steps and you're making life as a whole harder for yourself. Even though you may have had that hit of motivation that you're doing something good, you do something, you indulge in something that makes you feel even better. But I want to do, almost you could think of it as the opposite. And why this hasn't been done a lot more, why aren't more people talking about the way I'm about to say, is that simply it's a lot harder to do. But I mean, it's a lot harder to treat yourself without doing it the ways that you'd normally think of. And I reckon the best way is to use a different example. Let's say you're training for something, maybe working out, and you notice that you're getting a lot stronger, you're getting a lot fitter, and all those things. Now, the common approach, what you would normally think of, what a lot of people would normally think of to treat yourself, is taking a day off working out. What will that do? That will hamper your progress. Maybe not as drastically or not by that much, but still, instead of taking that time out, you could have just gone to the gym and had another great workout and get that little bit stronger. So how would I go about it to use having a treat in a good way? Well, let's start with the smaller things, like let's say your clothing that you may be wearing to the gym, maybe something that you got that was cheap, maybe you just needed to get a quick singlet just so that you could go to the gym. A treat would be spending some money on something that's comfortable, maybe lighter, but overall it's not gonna hamper your progress, and in fact it may even make it easier to make progress. Another way is that you could maybe bump up your membership to get more benefits from your gym. That's another way. More specifically for that example, getting better shoes that are better for activities. But overall, what are we actually doing so that we could use this better way to treat yourself in other examples than just going to a gym? And what we are doing is making it more comfortable, and in turn making it easier to do the thing. And of course, you don't need to make something more comfortable to make it easier. Sometimes you can just quickly make it easier. Maybe buy a pre-workout that's going to make working out easier, of that example that we talked about before. But moreover, the important thing that we are doing is we're not taking steps back after doing something good. We're just making it easier to keep on doing something good. That may not be a necessity. It's not really a necessity to get maybe the best singlet for working out, the best shoes for working out, as you could do without them just fine. But it's making it a bit easier for you to keep going, to stay motivated. And of course, once you get to the higher levels, those will get closer and closer to becoming a necessity anyways. But yeah, this is just a quick one today. I just wanted to mention that's how I would use treating yourself. That's how I reckon you should use treating yourself, to make sure you're not taking steps back from any good progress that you may be making. And as usual, I'll bring up some more videos of the channel if you want to check them out. It's up to you. But until then, see you later.